Hi peeps, here's a little tidbit of core strength work for you. This is particularly good if you're avoiding things because of wrist or finger or thumb or hand pain, anything going on anywhere from the wrist downward to the digits. So what you'll need is 2 blocks or sturdy books that are at least this big, maybe a bit higher. The less height that you're working with can make things make things less difficult because you have less room to work with. You'll see what I'm talking about. So if you've got anything going on where you have an injury and you can't do planks anymore, you can't do any push-ups or whatever modality you use for exercise, and you're sick of doing crunches and things like that, this will be really good because the down-facing core exercises give us that work that we have to do with, against gravity pushing us down. So you can see right now I'm sort of in what in yoga we call a sphinx pose, and I've got a dip in my low back, and this feels comfortable and okay, but this is clearly not supported. If I want to take my knees off the ground and I still stay like this, there's going to be a lot of pressure going down in not just the lumbar spine, but there's also the sacrum, and even pushing out in the front of the belly and stuff like that. There's no real support. So here we go. We're going to take shoulder number 1 and fit it on the block. Now this might be a little bit jarring for you, in which case you can find blankets or towels or something to soften the sharpness of the block. And you just want to place it kind of where like a wide bra strap would be. And from here, you have some options, right? So you can take your hands flat. Don't mind my elbows that bend the wrong way. And if you do have elbows like that, you want to have some sort of pressing down. I mean, you want to press down anyways, but for sure, if you have the hyperextension like I have, you want to press down, lift the center of the palms a bit, and feel sort of a hollowing sense in the armpits, the space between the upper arm and the upper outer ribs. So from here, we're going to start by keeping the knees down because this is the best way to test your strength if you've never done this before. So breathing, you can let the head hang. Now my head's up because, I don't know, usually it's because I'm looking at people. I'm not really looking at anyone, am I? Okay, head is down for the most part. I'm keeping my head up so you can hear me better. If you can let your head relax for the first part of this, it'll be better for you. So as you exhale, you can sort of feel the low belly, how it draws back in on the exhale. And as you inhale, the whole body expands, but you can feel the front of your body press into the floor. So when you exhale, you want to feel that gentle gravity. And then from the base of the pelvis, also called the pelvic floor, you want to have this lifting that goes all the way up, like there's an elevator lifting up from the floor of the pelvis up to probably about the mid-ribs, and then you want to come down. So it's sort of like doing cat-cow, but you're not on your hands and knees. And I'm feeling the muscles tense up just a little. I'm not going overboard here. From the back of the pelvic floor, and then I'm going up through the back of the navel and then behind the ribs, and then pressing more with the shoulders here. Anyway, that's part 1. Part 2 is to come up to the point where you feel like you have a nice, strong tension in the front of the spine, and you can lift your thighs up a little bit. My knees are still on the floor. You might want to try this a few times. Once you start lifting off of the thighs, the head comes up. Try to keep it neutral, meaning that like the tailbone and the center of the head are relatively on the same plane. And they're not going to be exactly on the same plane, but that's the idea. Okay, now what we can do is we can curl the toes under in anticipation, but we still have to work incrementally here. So you don't have to work super delicately, but I like to pretend like I can sort of lift the muscles that surround every vertebra until I get up, and then the knees can come up. Okay? There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can really draw the low belly in and get even more intense with how much you lengthen the low spine. And you can really round the upper spine, or you can just keep it relatively neutral. I take a breath when I get to the top. We'll do this one more time with you. And then when I exhale, I try to come down in the reverse order, or thereabouts, at least with control. That's what you want to do. Okay, the next part of this is to have your feet flat, so you're really using a lot of different, well, you're not using a lot of different muscles, but the muscles that you're using are just different enough on the exhale that you don't quite have the footing, so you really got to rely on the fronts of the legs to press down and in, so the thighs tend to fire up more. And then my favorite one is you can have the toes flipped or not. You could keep your knees down and you lift the arms. I take my palms up for this. And then however you decide you're going to do it, I keep slipping because I'm not on a yoga mat, I'm on a blanket. Yoga mats, you don't slip on these. And you can lift. You could even do little pulses. I'm doing a lot of work in the core. There's a whole lot going on there. And of course you can lift the arms, curl the toes. And the key is to really try to do it incrementally. We're not just trying to pop up and then fall down. Okay? So you could play with that for a while, and that could just be a whole workout if you really wanted it to be. Oh, I forgot to show you part 5, 6, I don't know. But you could do anything that you wanted to where you came off of your knees, so your hands could be flat or not. And then you could work on lifting and lifting and lifting, etc., etc. All with that nice, stabilized, lengthened, hugged in spine. Whew! All right, I think I earned my Thai food that's coming in about half an hour. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment box. If you want more things like this, let me know and share it, because I think we all know somebody who's got tender wrists or who's dealing with something in the hands, fingers. It might even be good for somebody with shoulder issues because they don't have to put support on it in the sense that they're putting hand support. Some shoulder issues wouldn't like to have pressure on the shoulder, but then there's other people with shoulder issues that this is fine because more of the problem has to do with weight bearing and bending the elbows and stuff like that. So you never know who might benefit from this. And if you're healthy, try it because it's really awesomely challenging. All right, hope you enjoyed it. See you later.